Go, sit down. You're shivering. Wrap this around yourself, but don't hide your injuries. Look at me. I'm checking for concussion. I need to see your pupils. Good. Sit still. Give me your hand. Your hand. Let me see your hand. When I say, flex each of your fingers like this. Move slowly and tell me if anything hurts. Start. Relax. Now, try bending your wrist like this. Now the other direction. Okay. You should consider yourself lucky. After being attacked by monsters and falling at 3-story height, most humans would have suffered far worse injuries. Fortunately, it looks like you just have a sprained wrist, and some cuts and bruises. I can tend to those quickly enough. You're very quiet. Quieter than usual. How are you feeling? Do you hear any ringing? Any nausea or fatigue? Nothing like that? Good. Here, have some water. Now, what I want to know is why you wandered so far away from the city, and at this time of night no less. You didn't even bring any of your equipment with you. Are you always so reckless? That was a rhetorical question. I already know you're reckless. You're lucky I found you so quickly, or you probably would have more significant injuries by now. You shouldn't have ventured so far out, especially when it's this dark outside. What could have compelled you to do such a thing? Oh. You were searching for me? Yes. I did leave the house a few hours ago. No matter how long I spend in human houses, I feel more comfortable in the wilderness. I usually take walks at night for that reason. It helps me get some fresh air, as the saying goes. You followed me? I can handle myself. Yes, there is a difference. I'm much more familiar with the area than you are, and I'm more familiar with the creatures that roam the mountains at night. You were drowsy and navigating an unfamiliar place without a weapon. No matter how you look at it, I didn't put myself in danger. You did. Regardless, I'm grateful for your concern, and I apologize for making you worry. If it'll relieve your concern, I'll tell you when I plan to leave the house. Would that put you more at ease? Good. I'm going to apply a splint for your wrist now. Relax your arm, and tell me if anything hurts or stings. Yes, I've lived here for a few months by now. I think I've become accustomed to living in this style of house. Of course, I've lived in Master's home, and the abodes of the other Adepti. Their homes were very spacious and luxuriously decorated. They were very grand compared to these human houses, but they felt lonely most of the time. I don't quite know how to describe it, but in a way, this house feels more comfortable. And having my own space to call home, well, I didn't realize it's something I was lacking in. A traveler, I wanted to ask you something. Now that you've seen my home here in the city, what do you think of it? It's not too barren, is it? The other day when I announced my residence in this new house, a family member of mine gave me some candles. He said the candles produce a calming scent and they would help spruce up the place. Does that mean I should add more decorations? Oh, the candles were a sign of courtesy. So when an acquaintance moves into a new home, it's polite to give them a present. A housewarming gift? I suppose the candles are a decent heat source when they're burned. It's just a figure of speech? Okay. I'll keep that in mind. That's a relief to hear, then. Personally, I don't need that many furnishings in my home. As long as it provides a place to sleep, that's enough for me. And that being said, I did want to make it more inviting if I had any guests, like you. So, after I saved up some money, I added a few items to the guest room. Aside from the bed, I purchased several chairs to go with the table, as well as some carpeting and a few lamps. What do you think? Is it comfortable? Good. Oh, the flowers? I'm glad you like them. Lady Ganyu was gracious enough to give me some gardening tools and taught me how to care for these flowers. Yes, it was very kind of her. Although I don't necessarily need these kinds of decorations, like these flowers, after I added them, the home seems more... It feels more like the homes I'm used to living in. In a good sense, that is. It feels more like the space belongs to me, and it's not simply a place I go to rest. Okay. I bandage your wrist. Avoid putting weight on it, and don't move it around too much. I should also put some ice on the injury. It might get inflamed otherwise. Say, traveler, you said you just got back from Mondstadt, right? How was it? You went back because of the Windbloom Festival? So that's a celebration they hold in Mondstadt. In what ways is it different from the celebrations in Liyue? It seems like most celebrations are similar, in that they honor an important aspect of the nation's history. Where they differ is in the ways they show their veneration. Games seem like a common part of celebrations, as is exchanging gifts. What else is a common practice during Windbloom? They give flowers. And the flowers are meant to commemorate love and friendships? I heard about a type of flower native to Mondstadt. It only grows on tall cliffs where strong winds blow. Cecilias. So they're called Cecilias? They almost remind me of Chingson flowers. Here in Liyue, Chingson can only grow on the tallest mountaintops, solitary from other flowers. I wonder if Cecilias could grow in the mountains here. It is very windy in some areas. If they could grow here, I could try raising them and giving them away as presents. Traveler, how do Cecilias taste? Oh, you don't know? I'll try cultivating a few and I'll see how they taste. As for Liyue Harbor, for the most part, I've enjoyed living here. After I became used to life in the city, I can understand why people find it so comfortable. That being said, I was fortunate to have found this house on the outskirts of the city. As much as I've gotten more used to interacting with other humans, I still prefer keeping to myself most of the time. To be honest, I was glad to hear that it's common for many humans to be introverted like myself. Knowing that my behavior is actually rather normal, it gives me some relief. Lift your arm more. It's quite all right, traveler. I don't mind that you're not saying much. In fact, I appreciate that I can enjoy your company without needing to say anything. When I'm with you, I don't feel the need to fill the silence. I take it as a sign that I'm more at ease. It's not a feeling I'm all that used to, but I suppose I am more at ease when I'm around you. And with these new decorations, I've started feeling calmer in this house. It's a feeling I don't have the luxury of experiencing all that often. Well, you're aware of my life before my master took me in. And even after I did have a place to stay, I never felt like I could truly settle. When I was younger, I put all of my energy into focused training. And I had a habit of overextending myself. Very frequently. As the other Adepti put it, I would push myself past the limits of what would be safe for any human being. It was before I had truly realized my worth. I suppose at the time, I had wanted to prove myself, make myself feel worthy of the second chance at life that had been granted to me. For the longest time, a part of me feared that if the trouble I caused exceeded what I could provide, my master would stop training me and bring me back to that cave she found me in. I know now that she would never do such a thing. And besides, you would never let her. I have no doubt that you'd be willing to battle an Adeptus if you felt the need. As I said before, you're a very reckless person. And very courageous. There was once a time when I thought the way you acted was just normal for humans. Well, you're reckless for starters. You can be stubborn, but are ultimately very selfless. You enjoy going out of your way for the benefit of others. After having gotten to know you, I'm not that surprised that you would do so much to help a person you had just met. Every time we meet, I always seem to find you in the middle of a task, helping someone or finding something. Yes, I know you're an adventurer, but you strike me as very different from all the people that gather around the Adventurers Guild. So, I thought your behavior was just how most people acted. But when I started learning about how humans live, I realized how unique you are. No matter how many people I meet, you always manage to stand out. There are plenty of humans that are not the kindest to those they deem as an outsider. That is a fact I've learned very well since living here. But now that I've learned that, I'm even more grateful for your friendship. Okay, I've finished dressing your wounds, and you ought to give your body enough time to recuperate. After wearing the splint, your wrist may get sore, so I'll show you some stretches once it's healed. Oh, of course. It's no problem at all. Now that I have this home in the city, you're always welcome to visit. And you're always welcome to ask for my help. Good. Now, it's getting rather late, and you look like you could use more sleep. Your body can heal itself faster when it's well rested. Of course, I can stay for a while longer. I'll be here for as long as you want. And, traveler, I'd like to attend one of these Mondstadt festivals. When is the next one? I see. I was told I could take some time off work if I gave notice long enough in advance. Could I accompany you? Thank you.